everybody. We're going to start today with our what's going to become a series is our ride-alongs while we answer questions from the viewer comments. And this last one we did went over so well, we thought we would definitely do another one. And I even ran a poll, and it got a really high marks as to interest. So we're doing another one. And before we get started with that, we're going to start out with the stats from our petition that we have up at change.org. The petition is to put Summer's picture at every Walmart in Tennessee, all 152 of those. And so far, we have 3,820 views, 131 shares, and 447 signatures, which isn't horrible, but I would really like to see those improve a lot, because we're going to need up in the thousands to even turn any heads at Walmart. So everybody, if you haven't signed it, we'll try to add the link into the description for the petition. And, everybody in your household can sign it if you want to. Sons, daughters, husbands, wives, everyone. So let's try to get as many signatures as we can. And without further ado, Brandie's going to read the questions and we're going to answer them. And let's go ahead and start. Give us our first one.
The first one's not really a question, it's a comment, but I'm going to go ahead and read it.
Okay.
It's from Stephanie Ball. You are just making things worse. Keep talking. Let's see how far that gets you in life. Everything is about the parents. Who did this and who did that? What a crock of beep. It's about Summer. Have you forgotten about her? That's all that matters is where are you, Summer? We miss you.
Well, I think when it comes to is everything about Summer, yeah. I mean, when we talk about parents or anything else to do with Summer, the goal is to find out what happened to Summer and to bring justice for Summer and hopefully return Summer home. So I think the petition speaks for itself. That's what we're doing for Summer. And, by everybody that shares the petition and everybody that watches the videos with the thumbnails of her missing persons poster from TBI, I think together that's doing a lot to help Summer's case, and I really hope it is accomplishing that. Okay, so our next question.
This is from Kathy Marchbanks. Why didn't Hunter put the two gallon of milk on the other side of the vehicle?
There's a lot of weirdness about the milk, where he placed it, why he put it there, why it's stacked on top of each other, why Summer is leaned up against it. None of it makes sense. And I think there's a lot. If you go back and watch Chris's interviews with Hunter and with Candace, he was really big on where people were sitting and this and that. I think that told him a lot as to what the situation was when Hunter got out and why the milk ended up where it did, and all that good stuff. So I don't know exactly why the milk ended up where it was. I don't think anybody could tell you that exactly, but to me it looks like the milk was rearranged for Summer to lean on it, because that wouldn't be the way you would stack milk to drive down a country road and to it just wouldn't work out, would it?
No, and it's cold. You don't think Summer would be laying on it. That's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of that just is very, very peculiar. What's the next question?
This is from Jolene Walker. Why is the piece of candy Summer got from Grandma always such an important part of the interview or interviews?
Well, I don't know that it's an important part. It's definitely it's definitely included in every time you hear the story told.
I think if they set up to tell the same story, it was probably part of the story. They had set up in advance. So that's one key part they remember, that and planting the flowers. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. I think that's another one of them things. Like, why is every version of the story when Summer asked to go back inside replied to as fine? That didn't fit to me. None of that. So I think the candy is part of the story. If I had to guess, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think that too. Definitely. Then we have another question. It's from Jesse SX. Is it possible that Grandis was the one who made the call to 911? If so, why did she tell the dispatcher the parents were um, on a walk? I kind of messed up.
Yeah, I mean, I get the basic question is it possible that that Grandis made the call? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, if it's possible, she made the call to 911.
Yeah, I think it's very possible. I think that explains the reason that it was said that Candace had went for a walk. Because if you hear the one version they talk about, they say that when everything went down, Grandis was taking a nap and she was awoken by Candace screaming. If you go with that line of theory, then it would make sense that if Grandis made the call to 911, that she basically knew Summer was missing and she wouldn't know what the circumstances were. Now, according to them, they're scared to death of the woods and they never go for a walk or none of that. So why she chose the mother had went for a walk story is beyond me. That doesn't make sense. Do you think?
No, I don't think it makes sense at all. Nothing in this case does, really. The next question is Kindness Sprinkles, and it is Hunter said that he went because Summer was going. Did he pick up his meds that day too?
Yeah, Hunter said he went because Summer was going, which sounds like BS to me. I think Hunter went because he knew he could maybe get him a little something to sip on, maybe a little something to smoke on, and stuff like that. And, what teenage boy is going to turn down a party at the lake when they're stuck at home with their mom?
Yeah, I think there's motives behind that, because why a teenage boy would want to spend time with Candace is kind of weird. So he was probably getting something out of it.
Yeah.
I agree.
The whole relationship is really odd to me. You would think maybe he would have went because he wanted to hang out with the brothers,
Right.
Because the older ones are close to his age. It seems odd that he went just to hang out with Summer. Not that I'm saying there's anything peculiar about that, but typically a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old, regardless, are not big buddies and don't have a lot of things in common, right?
Right. The next question is from Dr. Tom Stanton. What is Dawn and Candace personally doing to actively search for Summer?
Well, I know one thing they've done that is actually helping, and this is recent, is they added my petition to the Don Wells family page. And, they even threw out a couple of other flyers that they had made up, I guess. And so now that's helping spread the word. As far as actively searching, I'm not sure. I've heard Don say that he's been searching and going to people's houses. And, there was the story about he went to the one house and there was a little girl outside playing, and he was trying to get somebody's attention and all that because he was worried about the girl and all that. As far as actively, I don't know. I seen Candace walking the parade with Robin carrying the banner for Summer, but I'm not going to, nail down an answer to that because, we don't know what all they have done.
Okay, I found another one. It's from Erna, and her last name is Anspatch. I'm guessing I might have said that wrong.
Let me take a look at it. Erna Anspatch.
The part where Hunter gets out of the truck and he can't remember if he got out before Summer or after. Do you think that was part of the story, or if he really forgot?
I could see not remembering little details like that. I couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
But I think Chris definitely was asking stuff like that because it was telling him something,
Right.
I think it's important to Chris the order that all this stuff happened. That's why he was asking it. So I'm not going to pretend like I know that I would remember the order people getting out and exactly where you were sitting between here and here and here and here, And
Right.
Hunter's a teenager. He probably didn't pay attention to a lot of that, I'm
Right.
sure it wasn't upmost in his mind to worry about all that. I'm going to cut him some slack on that.
I agree. This is not a question, but it kind of is. I see a lot of people asking about it. But if they did something to Summer because CPS was coming the next day, what do you think about that? Did that have anything to do with the case?
I don't know. I'm not sure on CPS's protocol for that kind of thing. Do they warn you they're coming? Do they schedule the visits? And I've seen a lot of people go back and forth on that. And, it's really hard to answer that when we don't know that. And anybody that says they do know for sure that there was that scheduled visit, I'd love to know how they are so positive about that, because all that stuff to do with CPS is tight-lipped stuff. It's not something that's supposed to be out there, and the records are sealed on anybody that's a minor. And I've never heard one way or another anybody that could specifically point to a factual knowledge of that theory. Now, I know that it seems like there had been some back and forth between them and Allie and others over calling CPS on each other. So there's a good chance they were visiting that day, but we don't know that for sure, And if their idea was to hide Summer to keep them, away from CPS, well, that was a horrible idea because now they have all their children gone. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
If it was the plan, it was definitely a horrible plan, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was an awful plan.
I don't think it was the plan, do you?
No, not really. I don't know.
And we're not trying to downplay anybody either. It could be. We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. But in my opinion, I don't think that this was a CPS dodge or anything like that. Do you?
Yeah, I think it had to do with something else, really, in my opinion.
Right. We got anything else?
Well, this is I don't know. You could probably give your opinion. It's from Kathy Marchbanks also. Why did Summer disappear is my question.
We can't tell that. We've been building up to my big theory for quite a while.
Right.
What was the question? It was just, why did she disappear?
Yep.
That was how it was stated?
Yep.
Where's it at?
Right here.
Why did Summer disappear is my question. There's a lot of reasons it could have been. I'm not going to get into all of them because...
Yeah.
But there could be tons of different reasons. It could have something to do with the fact that she was about to start school.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, even though I'm not a big believer in the stranger abductor, that still is a possibility. Nobody can 100% rule that out yet. Now, I would think it'd be more likely that it was someone that knew the family and was familiar with Summer. If we're talking odds and statistics, it's definitely more likely it was like that. But, everybody's heard Dawn and Candace, they're having none of that. And, that's another thing that brings a lot of suspicion on them too, is they're 100% unwillingness to accept any theory outside of stranger took her.
Definitely. They didn't even think she was, I guess missing around the property. They just went to that conclusion right off. Well, Dawn did.
I don't get that either. That's always puzzled me. I get that maybe you have a gut feeling. I could see that. But just from the very beginning, refusal to believe that she could have just wandered off was shocking to me.
Right. And I would be searching everywhere, probably, for a good 20, 30 minutes before I called anybody just to make sure she wasn't around. I don't even think they did that, from what I heard.
And, that's something else, too, that people talk about, how willing were they to have police on their property?
Definitely.
Nobody wants the cops going through their house and stuff over nothing. So if they called 911 as fast as they said they did, that's another thing that you got to wonder about.
Yep, definitely.
There's nothing here at our house, but I still don't like the ideas of the cops going through my stuff.
Right. And if you've had kids, sometimes they hide and stuff, and I would always look for mine before I, called 911. Probably for a little while. I don't think Candace did that at all.
Yeah, our niece, actually, when she was really little one time, hid from my sister-in-law, and she was horrified. How long did she say she looked for?
An hour. She had called the cops. The cops came to the house.
Yeah.
And she still didn't come out. But I think finally, after like an hour and a half, she came out from under a table.
My brother finally, ain't he the reason she finally come out?
Yeah, I think so.
My brother finally come home from work. Not finally, because he didn't drag his feet, but the cops had came and searched. Melissa, my sister-in-law, she had searched the whole house. And it turned up, she was hiding underneath the table. She wouldn't answer the cops. She wouldn't answer my sister-in-law. But when my brother got home, she came out for him. And, my sister-in-law still talks about how terrified she was. Because it was from start to finish. It lasted a while.
Like an hour and a half, I think. Yep.
Wow.
That had to be a gut punch. When you get that awful feeling, sinking feeling, that was probably awful.
Especially after looking that long and still hadn't found her.
Right.
Ugh.
I don't know what she was thinking.
Okay, I think we got time for one more question. Or whatever you got lined up.
Okay, this is from Lori Stout. I don't believe she made it out of the truck once they got home. She told Granda she was taking Summer to the hospital. Called Dawn. Did she dry drown? Exactly what happened?
That's another one of them things about the dry drowning theory that explains the picture and on the milk jugs and all that. I think that it's possible. I think it's really possible, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to think that, and I'm not going to state that I know that because I don't want this to ever affect people looking for Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's one of the things they say about people like us that make the videos and stuff like that, is we hurt things because we give opinions and then people stop looking. And I don't want anybody to ever stop looking.
No.
And me or you have given up hope.
No.
Right?
Yeah. The reason we do this, I think, is just to get Summer out there and continue people interest in the case, really.
Yeah, not that it needs a lot of help, but I feel like there's so much just wish-wash out there that muddies the waters on things. And, I hope our trying to be honest approach and not making statements that we can't back up or not pushing narratives that we don't know. We're trying to be fair to Dawn and Candace as well. I feel
Definitely.
like we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we definitely don't want to affect people looking for summer in any way, because that would ruin everything that we're doing this for. So I want to make sure everybody knows you still need to be looking for summer. Every time you see a small child around her age, size, give her a double take, And I seen on Don's site where he did the hair variations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to give him too much grief over that, because at least it was an attempt to show what she could look like.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whoever did that for him did not do a great job. It'd be really nice if somebody seen that and would offer to do one that was a lot more realistic, because I think you'll agree, you've seen it. They look horrible, don't they?
Definitely.
But I'm not going to knock him for that.
No, he's trying to help somehow,
Because that is an attempt at doing something that's going to help out. So I don't want to knock him for that, and I'm not going to. And we're getting kind of up there in time. I want to thank everybody for all your support, and everybody that tuned into the live the other night. Me and Brandie were extremely grateful and happy and everything about how well that went.
Yeah, and we'll probably have another one. I actually bought Jonathan a new camera for Christmas, so we'll be trying that out next time. So hopefully it'll be a lot better.
You said Santa brought that.
Oh, sorry. Santa Claus, not me.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye. See you guys.